Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys and you ladies, this literally does not work. I'm actually down here I had a thought in my head. A lot of times I'll come up with something that I'll believe is true, and then I'll look for the numbers that actually back it up. And I know a lot of people will say, you're manipulating statistics, and that's why you came up with that. Statistics are for losers, and you are a loser. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. I don't care. Call me a loser. It's okay. It's cool. But here's what I was sitting here thinking, because right now it's so important to get the players on the field that are going to help our team win. You know, we got the draft that is less than 3 weeks away. We will be literally 3 weeks from today looking at day two, our second and our third round draft pick. And what we have to start realizing or figuring out is who are the players that are going to help us get over the top. You know, we've been talking about Kyle Pitts and how that would literally make this offense unstoppable. And that may be true. But, you know, as we look at free agency, a lot of people will look at last year and say, well, Tampa Bay, you know, they had a losing record the year before. They brought in Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. That's the reason why they won the Super Bowl. And I'm not going to say that Tom Brady wasn't a big part of that. But it's not just Tom Brady. Because one of the things that was hitting me in my head, you know, so many people say, screw the defense. You don't need a defense in today's football to win. And there's nothing further from the truth. And if we take Tom Brady's career and look, it's much like we think about Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin with the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm going to tell you that without that number one ranked defense that we had, we're not winning those 3 Super Bowls. And I dare say you can take Tony Dorsett, Drew Pearson, and Roger Staubach and that crew. Without the doomsday defense, we do not win all of those Super Bowls. We don't. And here's my case in point. So many short-sighted individuals will look and say, well, Tom Brady, he's the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT. You put Tom Brady on the Cowboys last year, we win the Super Bowl. And I'm going to say bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit on it. This is not in any way trying to take anything away from Tom Brady. But here's what's an interesting statistic about Tom Brady. Now, again, you got to have a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you don't. But that's not the be-all, end-all, because you can look at Aaron Rodgers and say Aaron Rodgers, you know, arguably is the best quarterback during his era. But he's only got 1 Super Bowl. You can look and say Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in football right now. He's got 1 Super Bowl. In fact, when he won the Super Bowl, he was more of a bus driver than playing lights out like he does on a weekly basis. You have to have defense. And as the Cowboys, you know, in free agency, it kind of irks me that our defense is the redheaded stepchild of the team. We love the deep ball. We love our wide receivers, our running back, our quarterback. But we don't give love to the defense because it's the defense. And here's my numbers to actually back this up. This is actually blows my mind that this is looked past. Now, Tom Brady has been on 7 Super Bowl winning teams. And I probably should have looked at the Super Bowl teams that they lost, but I'm pretty sure that this will still follow into that same matrix. In 2001, Tom Brady and New England won the Super Bowl, their first one. Their defense, this is where their defense was. Because, see, we have to understand that if we got a defense that's ass, I don't care how good our offense is, we're not winning the Super Bowl. But in 2001, the New England Patriots defense was 6th in scoring defense, 24th in yards, but 8th in takeaways. They didn't give up a lot of points, and they gave the offense more opportunities. 2003, when they kicked the Eagles' butt and Donovan McNabb literally threw up on the field in Jacksonville. I'll never forget that one. T.O. played lights out. New England's defense, number 1 in points, 7th in yards given up, and 2nd in takeaways. They didn't give up points, and they got the offense extra opportunities. These numbers actually literally blow me away because 2004, I'm sorry, that was Carolina that they beat. Sorry, 2014 was when they beat Donovan McNabb and crew. They were second in scoring defense, ninth in yards, and 3 at taking the football away. They were a takeaway machine. That's a top 10 defense. Well, I should say a top 6 defense each one of those Super Bowl years. And it was also, 2014, they took them 10 more years to get back. This was the worst year as far as their defense went. They were 8th in points. 8th in points, 13th in yards, and 14 in takeaways. That's the worst defense they had in any of their Super Bowl years. 2016 team, 1st in defense, 8th in yards, 14 in takeaways. 2017, Tom Brady Super Bowl winning team, 7th in points, 21st in yards, but 5th at taking the football away. And for those that say, just Tom Brady coming to Tampa Bay, Tom Brady didn't go to Tampa Bay on his own. They ended up bringing in other players like Gronk and things like that, and Ndamukong Suh. And, sorry, my system here is acting crazy. And I'm just making sure that it's still recording. And it is. Tampa Bay last year, here's what gets lost in the mix. Tampa Bay was 8th in giving up points, 6th at yards, and 5th at taking the football away. So as we look at this situation that we talk about as far as winning, where the Cowboys just kind of say defense, we're not going to spend money on defensive players. We're going to go ahead and just take care of the offense. Don't get me wrong. Tom Brady puts up a lot of offense. But every year that they've won a Super Bowl, every single year, the worst that team was that Tom Brady's been on, winning Super Bowls, is 8th in the NFL. 8th. Literally. Sorry, my stuff is going crazy here. 8th in the NFL was the worst scoring defense that he had, winning Super Bowls. Guys, the Dallas Cowboys must work on that defense. They must work on the defense. We have to improve our defense. Now, our defense was ass. Let's be clear about that. We were averaging giving up 36 points a game when Dak Prescott was there. We got better as the season went on when we were playing teams that weren't as good, 49ers, the Giants, the Eagles, Washington, teams that couldn't score a lot of points. But in all reality, we must do a lot better than what we're doing currently, and we have to start focusing in on that defense. If we don't, we'll be, maybe a playoff team, a good team, an exciting team and all that, but we're not going anywhere. And that's the example that we have to actually take through and understand the Dallas Cowboys identity, which has always been a lights-out defense, a really good quarterback, great wide receiver and running game. We only have half of the equation. And Jerry Jones needs to recognize we need some dogs on our defense, especially the one technique guy. Now, we've got 20 days to figure out who these guys are going to be, but they need to be really and truly thinking about fixing this defense. All right, y'all. I got to go out and pick up some more material. I got to get some more paint for the trophies. I got to get some seafoam green because I've got one of you guys that wants a seafoam green Joe Barty trophy, and I got to see if I can get that in spray paint, or I'm going to have to at least get it made up in seafoam green. I'm Mark Holmes, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Oh, don't forget, tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, we'll be here live streaming. I'll go into this in a little bit more detail, but the numbers don't lie. Cowboys must fix this defense. And I will talk to you guys later. I got to figure out why this system